Well, here we are looking forward to another India engagement, this time in ODI cricket, and it's going to be across the border in Bangladesh. India taking on Bangladesh in three ODIs, followed by a couple of test matches, but it's the limited overs, the white ball that we are focusing on. And I'm joined by Dinesh Karthik. DK, it's yet another campaign that's coming thick and fast.
Absolutely. I think we're all looking forward to some interesting ODI cricket in the sense that the one in New Zealand got washed out a bit. So obviously we were a little disappointed. So to say, we are not used to seeing matches being washed out that often in India. So it's just a great opportunity. And here starts the journey for the 2023 World Cup. I know it's in October, November, and we'll be playing a few matches before that. But I think these are very, very important games for a lot of players in the lead up to the 2023 50 over World Cup. And the fact that it's going to be played in the subcontinent makes even more sense that we're playing in Bangladesh. And we know that they're a solid side at home.
But just briefly, DK, to finish off on that, should we and can we read anything into that result in New Zealand, which was 1-0 against India? Could have been and should have been 2-0 the way that last game was going before the rain came. Or is it just, were there not enough personnel there?
Look, I'm never going to say we lack personnel in India. We have a plenty of choices to choose from. It's just one of those series where obviously New Zealand played way better than us and they deserve to win. Obviously, home conditions, supporting them, and the fact that, we just came off a World Cup, straight away going there with a few players, some new players coming in, put everything together. Was it the strongest Indian team? Maybe not. But we know that any Indian team that's out in the park have the potential to win. So it will be a bit of a disappointment, but massive learnings for Team India.
It takes me back to your earlier point. With everybody there, this really should be looked at as the beginning of the preparation for 2023 in India.
No doubt about that, GB. I think they will take this series rather seriously for two reasons. The three big names that are coming in, obviously Rohit, Kohli and Rahul, are also going to be playing the test matches soon after, which have a lot of relevance as well. So game time is going to be important. They've got, I think, at least 3 weeks break from the T20 World Cup, and knowing them, they'll be itching to play. The one thing that happens with being an Indian player is sometimes when you don't play for a couple of weeks, it feels like you haven't played for a year, maybe at times. That's how much cricket we play. So they'll be looking forward to it, coming together. Obviously, they're all good friends. So just coming together, united, but they know that this is a good series. Yes, maybe a couple of names missing in Bangladesh. We'll talk about that later, but we all know how good Bangladesh is at home, and I'm looking forward to a terrific series of white ball cricket.
Well, we can actually have a look at the Indian squad with those big names added, and it obviously begs the question, which will be answered on the morning of game number 1, in terms of the kind of combination India will look to go with. Because as you see, other than the big names, they've got plenty of choices to make in the middle and the right column in terms of a combination of fast bowlers, spinners. That will really be the big question.
There might be 15, 16 names here, but a few players stand out to me that are going to be part of the 11. For me, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, non-negotiable. They will open. 3 will be Virat Kohli there. 4, Shreyas Iyer, but just the magnitude of performances in ODI cricket in the recent past. 5 is where we need to discuss and debate a bit. There will be a toss-up between a KL Rahul and a Rishabh Pant. And why that happens, because for me, I have a feeling KL Rahul will play for sure. Rishabh Pant, I think, is taking a long flight from New Zealand and probably just landed as we speak with a day to go. So obviously acclimatization. And I can see that, KL Rahul will be a proper middle order batsman in the 50 over World Cup. So if that happens, I think they will be fitting him at number 5. In that case, the one thing that I'm very sure about Rohit Sharma is he likes 6 options in the bowling department, which means they will play all the 3 finger spinners who are also all-rounders, Washington, Shahbaz Ahmed and Akshar Patel. We have 3 spin options here and all 3 can bat as well. And throw in a Deepak Chahar, who is also somebody who can definitely give you something with the bat. So we've come to 9. And number 10 for me is Siraj. I have a feeling Shami might not play the initial games because the test matches are coming ahead. I think it'll be a toss-up between Kuldeep Sen and Shardul Thakur for the number 11 spot. I think that is where this 11 lies. And I know there is obviously going to be a debate about Pant or Rahul. But I think considering, the amount of cricket he's played and the fact that he's taken a long flight could mean they will definitely go with KL Rahul as the wicket keeper for this game.
Let's talk about number 4. A lot was said about Shreyas Iyer when it came to T20 cricket, but when you see, as you yourself said, DK, the magnitude of his performances in 50-over cricket, despite a few little questions being asked here and there, really you're looking at that solid spot belonging to him in the long term going to 2023.
I know performances are plenty, and every time you give him an opportunity, he's shown that he's a match winner. And for me, hence, he will start at number 4 for this series. But we got to understand there are obviously Surya Kumar Yadav who's missing here. Where is he going to bat? These questions will be answered as and when they play more bilaterals and the series roll on. But for this series, without Surya Kumar Yadav, definitely Shreyas Iyer at number 4. He's earned the right to be a part of that 11. And that means a lot to a player who's obviously missed out on a World Cup. He's done fabulously well in ODI cricket in the recent past. I'm really we have a lot of chat about, is the short ball an issue for him? They peppered him with short balls in ODI cricket in New Zealand, and he answered it with aplomb. I think he showed the world how much better he's gotten playing it, and that for me bodes really well for him. I think there are some special times ahead of him in the near future.
And the other side of the coin, while we all refer to our team, the big guns coming in, the home side, no matter how well they play in their home conditions, will be a little bit disappointed with the fact that they will not be at full strength. Through no fault of their own, Bangladesh will be missing a couple of key names. Taskin Ahmed in the bowling department's missing out on game number 1. And I think the big one for them will be their talisman, Tamim Iqbal. His leadership, his charisma at the top, his aggression, and of course the experience that he brings, which means Liton Das will be leading this side.
Let's start about who you spoke about first. Taskin Ahmed, I think, is bowling the best of his life, and I will go on a limb to say I'd be very keen to see one of the IPL franchises picking up, knowing the auction is around the corner. That's number 1 for me. I think he bowled really well in the World Cup. He's shown he can lead a pack of bowlers, which is very good. And the fact that he's subcontinent and he knows the conditions is something that obviously other teams will look at. But for Bangladesh, he's been their top bowler and he stood up in this World Cup. Yes, there's been Mustafizur Rahman for sure, but Taskin has grown in stature. He's bowling those tough overs. He's finding a way to get those early breakthroughs. And I think he will be a big miss because among the fast bowlers there, he had the ability to knock a couple out early. And that was something that could be missing for them in this series. I think Rohit and Shikhar might heave a kind of a soft breath, so to say, without him around. But I think Bangladesh will definitely miss him. But more importantly, let's talk about Tamim Iqbal. And I think you said the right word when it comes to a talismanic player. And he is somebody who's literally carried the burden of being a Bangladeshi opener for a long time now. You see his stats in the recent past, done really well in ODI cricket. He's a very important player for them because he bats at a certain tempo. He's a left-hander who's able to take on those left-arm spinners, and we have 2 of them as well, so they will definitely miss him. But it gives an opportunity to a young guy who will be coming in, and we can see how things unfold for them, but they will definitely miss him as a batsman and more so as a leader. In the same breath, I think Liton Das has got his opportunity. He is somebody who's done really well in the World Cup, and he has a fancy for somehow taking on Team India, and he's really enjoyed the attack for some time. So if at all he wanted to captain against the team, it should be against India, considering he has a good record against him.
Yep, and let's not just forget their record in this format. Afghanistan, South Africa, West Indies are the scalps they've had. 8 out of their last 12 ODIs is what they've won in 2022. That's Bangladesh's record that India will be faced with. Combinations, personnel, attitude. We've covered it all as we look ahead. Promises to be an exciting series as India start their road to 2023, and we will be there bright and sharp at 11 a.m. on Sunday as we look forward to the first of 3 ODIs between India and Bangladesh. Team Cricket Buzz Live will be there. We'll see you then.